topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from experts on such topics as legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to our experts in community association law, estate planning law, tax relief, Medicare, public insurance adjusters, neuropathy treatment, business brokers, and personal injury law, along with many other topics. Now here's your host for the last 17 years, Steve O.
Morning, welcome to another Ask the Expert show, where we bring you the finest experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. You know, everybody gets good news once in a while, and everybody identifies their good news different. So my good news is we do about 30 shows a month. Some of our shows have been with us as long as 15, 17 years. A couple of weeks ago, the show we're going to be doing this morning with Ray Ferrara, Provise Management Group. When Ray contacted me that he was going to be on for another year, I got to tell you, maybe it's not a big deal to other people. To me, it was a huge deal. This is one of the greatest shows that we do. In fact, it's one of the few shows that we allow the expert to come on more than once a month. Ray's with us the first and third Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And I got to just tell you, I mean, like I said, everybody's got a different way of identifying great news. This was the greatest news for me. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Steve, and thank you. That's very kind of you. I'm excited to be with Ask the Experts for at least another 12 months.
Well, I got to tell you, Ray, in your business, God, you hear so many horror stories. And, you know, I came out of the representing pro athletes, and boy, we're still hearing every day, athletes being ripped off. But I feel so confident and comfortable with your company, Provise Management Group. And that alone, Ray, God, that just takes a huge burden, because I never have to worry about anybody who signs up with you new. I never have to worry how they're going to be taken care of. And again, since we've just started with TikTok and I'm seeing all the people tuning in, tell people about Provise Management Group.
Happy to do so, Steve, and thank you. Provise Management Group is a financial planning and investment management firm located in Clearwater and Tampa, Florida. We're a 40-year-old firm this year and have been acting as a fiduciary registered with the SEC for 39 of those 40 years. We have clients scattered in over 30 states, 1,200 families, managing about $2 billion. And, you know, everybody wonders, well, what's our minimum? Our minimum, if someone wants to become part of our firm, is $300,000 of assets, which in today's world is a relatively small amount of money. But we feel it's important to help as many people as we profitably can, both their profitability and ours as well. We always offer new listeners to take advantage of a 1-hour complimentary consultation, either in our offices if you're located here in the Tampa Bay area, or certainly by Zoom if you're located anywhere else. You'll meet personally with me, and it would be my pleasure to learn more about those listeners and to see if there's a way we can help. And if we can't, maybe we can direct them to someone who can. And if you'd like to take advantage of that, simply give us a call at 800-633-3049. That's 800-633-3049. Or go to our website to learn a little bit more about us at Provise, Provise provise.com. That's provise.com.
Ray, I got to start off with the stock market because it just continues on an upward trend, especially with the chip manufacturers. So everybody's wondering, how long is this going to last for?
Well, that's the more than $1 million question for sure. The market set a new record. All three markets set a brand new record last Friday. All three markets are up as of June 1st, this morning, in the pre-markets. So possibility of another new record. In large measure, I mean, as much euphoria as there has been, one has to keep in mind that the market in large measure has been driven over these last couple of months by a very handful of companies. But it's interesting, it's not the same seven magnificent stocks that we were talking about before. There's stocks like Micron Technology, there's Intel, interestingly, NVIDIA, which is the most well-known, is one of the few companies that chip companies that has not moved dramatically. In fact, they made an announcement this morning that they are now going to be producing chips to go into PCs on a go-forward basis. So we're seeing a little nick on Intel this morning as a result. But how long does it go? Let's put it in perspective. If you had invested in a S&P 500 exchange traded fund ETF on January 1st of last year, as of the end of Friday, you'd have been up about 30.5%. Sounds awfully good to me. I'll take 30% in 18 months anytime you want. But if you had been in the South Korean market during that same period of time, you would have been up over 300%, 10 times faster growth in their markets than ours. So euphoria can last for a long time. I certainly, as you know, Steve, I try to stay away from my foggy, cracked crystal ball. But, I would not be surprised during this summer for us to see a correction occur. That's a decrease in the market by 10% or more. Don't see a bear market happening unless something very unusual happens. And that would be something where it would go down 20% or more. But the euphoria could see a correction during the summer before the market begins moving forward. We do see the market higher at the end of the year than it is now, but with a little dip in between, leading into the election times. And we have a little history running against us. This is a mid-year election, and historically, about 78% of the time, the time period between right now, June and November, is down in a market when it's the mid-year elections. That kind of corresponds with that old saying of go away in May and come back in October. Sell in May and buy in October. But we are long-term investors. We don't believe in trying to time the market, don't believe in the historical returns. Over my 55 years of participating in this market, the history has said, just stay the course, have a good asset allocation, and you'll be in much better shape. So how long? Even when it does take a dip, we do see it higher between now and the end of the year.
I'm going to go to Colin on TikTok. He said, I love the show. I tune in for as many shows as I can. If I miss one, I go back and watch it. I appreciate the info you offer. Ray, I'm curious, do you see New York losing its status as financial capital? And if so, what city do you see taking over that as a financial capital?
So, do I see it losing its status? Probably not losing its status, but its status might diminish a little bit. Clearly, Texas has made an aggressive move to have Dallas become an increasingly important financial center. We now have the Texas stock exchange that exists, that's out there. A lot of speculation that the SpaceX IPO may actually run through that exchange rather than through the NASDAQ. We'll have to see, or maybe it'll be on two different exchanges. But New York, I think, is too ensconced as a worldwide capital center, and clearly because of many things that are happening in the state of New York, and more specifically in the city. It is entirely possible for financial centers to leave, but not enough to say that it would lose its dominant position.
I think what it is, Ray.
Where would it go? I've already mentioned Dallas.
Yes.
There's a lot of conversation about San Francisco. Some conversation about Miami. Don't see Miami playing that big of a role in the financial area. So don't give up on New York. At the end of the day, they'll be fine, I think.
I think people see, I know Jamie Dimon's been all over TV. They're moving a lot of their offices to Texas and to Florida too. I think that's what people are seeing, wondering. We have Shane in Atlanta wants to know, why should I expect, if I hire a financial planner to write a financial plan for me, what is a fair cost?
Wow. Okay. So the first part, what should you expect from a financial plan? So Shane, the first thing I want to say to you is that there are a lot of people who claim to be financial planners, and really all they are asset gatherers who happen to give incidental financial planning advice. When you go to a financial planner to get a financial plan, it should start out, not necessarily in this order, but let's just say it should start out with your net worth statement, your balance sheet. What are your assets? What are your liabilities? Creating, now we know your net worth. The second thing it needs to look at is your cash flow. What's your income? What's your expenses? Where are those what expenses are fixed? What expenses are variable? And that, that's kind of like a profit and loss statement on a year by year basis. So those are two important items that you need to have at the beginning of a plan, because that's where you are today, and we have to figure out, based on your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, where you're going to go from here to achieve all of those. Now, following that in no particular order, it probably should be talking about setting up an emergency and opportunity fund, typically 3 to 6 months worth of monthly expenses. Following that, it should do some type of a risk analysis. How risky do you want to be in the market? How risky do you have to be in order to achieve all that you want to do? And our philosophy is, why take more risk than you need to take to achieve all of your goals and aspirations if it doesn't bring any additional value to your life? You're going to look at your current investments and determine the asset allocation. Going to look through to the investments themselves to see if there's over concentration in various sectors, et cetera. It's going to do retirement projections. It's going to look at education planning, long-term planning, asset protection. It's going to look at all of your insurance policies, life insurance, disability, health insurance. As importantly, your property and casualty insurance. It should look at your estate plan. So all of that should be, if you're getting a integrated financial plan, those are the things that you should be looking to see in the plan. And most planners will have a sample document that they can provide you so that you can get a sense to it. Now, one caution, some financial planners like to write this great, big, huge volume of work with a lot of useless words in them, just to impress you with, how big the plan is. A plan, depending upon where you are in life, could be as easy as a page or two in a letter, or it could be something that would be 12 to 15 pages long. It just depends on where you are. I mean, if you're a young person, it's not going to take much to put together a plan. So that's where we come to the cost part that you ask about, Shane. And it's going to depend, the depth that you go into the plan is going to depend on where you are. Here in the Tampa Bay area, doing a comprehensive integrated financial plan is going to be anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, depending upon the complexity of the plan. Some people give it away for free. And that sounds good until you understand that those are the people who are probably selling high-priced commission products to you instead of providing just advice to you for a fee. If you have an interest in doing a plan, you could certainly reach out to us, or if you want somebody who's closer to you, simply go to cfpboard.net. And you'll be able to search for a financial planner there. And I've misspoken there. That would be the FPA.net. That's the Financial Planning Association.net, or the cfpboard.org for the CFP board.
Ray, what are some good questions people should ask when hiring a financial planner?
I think first and foremost is what's the person's background. Now, I have joked about this many times on the show. My Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Maryland is in zoology, which obviously does not fit for a financial planner. But 54 years of experience does qualify me for something. But you want to get the history of that individual. You probably want to go online to a place called Broker Check. Just type in Broker Check, and it will take you to a site where you can put in the advisor's name, and that will allow you to determine whether there have been any violations of rules or regulations that have occurred. That will provide you with additional information. You can go to your state's financial services website and do something very similar to that. So those are kind of the two preliminary steps. When you get there, you want to obviously, what is their philosophy? Are they planners? Are they investment gatherers? Are they just going to invest the money? What are they going to do for you? And then how are they going to be compensated? And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being compensated on commissions. It's when people sell the wrong product to make a big commission that it's wrong. Our sense is, in those very limited circumstances when we happen to provide some commission-based product, like term insurance, we disclose our commission to them. And you should expect your advisor to disclose compensation. That transparency should exist in all of your financial relationships. And then you want to know, what's the backup? Is this a single individual or a one or two person office? Is it a firm that has multiple people working on your account together? The last thing you need is to develop a great financial plan and suddenly be without a financial planner because he or she retired, or worse, became ill and had to get out of the business. So you need to know what's the long-term plan that exists there. Again, if you go to the CFP board, they have a wonderful little brochure that suggests a whole series of questions for you to inquire about planners as you're looking to hire one.
We try, Ray, to stay away from politics. It's so difficult to do. We've got an election coming up in November. Any thoughts? Do you think the Republicans are going to keep both houses or lose both houses or stay in charge of one of the houses? What are your thoughts?
Well, interesting you should ask it, because there was a great segment on TV this morning from the predictions market that basically was saying there's a 23% chance, therefore a 74% chance that the Democrats are going to win the House. That's the current prediction as of the middle of May. It is always difficult for the party in power in these midterm elections to keep the majority, even when things are going well. While our economy is doing well in spite of all of the things that are going on here in the United States as well as around the world, there is a perception that things are worse than they really are. And for many families, that's exactly correct. And people are going to vote their pocketbook first and foremost a party, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. If you're feeling good about the economy, you don't want to change. If you're not feeling good about the economy, people want to change. They don't want to keep going under the same thing. I have said from the beginning that I thought there would be a high probability that the Democrats would win the House, but the Republicans would keep the Senate. Unfortunately, I think there's a possibility that both houses could flip from Republican control to Democratic control. And I say unfortunately because I don't like it when the same party's in total control. I like to have a little opposition. Then we have to compromise to get things done. Of course, that's a dirty word in politics today, compromising. I would say to everybody, most importantly, go vote. That's what I would tell most everybody. Go vote and vote whatever way you feel it will be in your best interest and that of your community. And that's not just at the national level, but that's all the way down to the local, state and local elections as well. Right now, yes, I think the House is going to flip and go to the Democrats.
I got to tell you, I really feel like it's going to depend on the get out to vote. There's so many things going on, and I don't know what gas prices are in Tampa, but here in South Florida, God, they went from $4.55 for regular down to yesterday was $3.87. That's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, it is, and the jumps down and up have been equal.
Yes.
Fortunately, the price of oil has come down from the low 100s down to the upper 80s. Last week, it was at $90 a barrel this morning. And even when the Strait of Hormuz opens back up, it's going to take a long time for the prices to come down. Let me just say once again, real quickly, that anyone who would like to take advantage of our complimentary 1-hour consultation, just give us a call at 800-633-3049. That's 800-633-3049. Say you want to talk to me, you will talk to me personally. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, we can do it in our Tampa or Clearwater office. If you're outside of the Tampa Bay area, happy to do it by Zoom. And would love to have an opportunity to tell you more about what we're doing and how we're doing it.
And Ray will be back with us in 2 weeks again, 9:00 Eastern time. Ray, it's always a pleasure. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
You as well, Stephen, and thank you again. Happy Monday.
Same to you, my friend. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to be doing our tax relief show. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.